So I remember everybody at home being absolutely obsessed with the plum cake that I made for Christmas last year. So this year I wanted to make something similar, something equally delicious, and today I'm making a chocolate fruited nut cake which is loaded with all kinds of dried fruits, nuts and spices. It's packed with flavor and extremely festive. Let's get started. I'll start by adding some fresh orange juice, some water and some lemon juice into a pan. I also have a mix of dried fruits here. I'm using raisins, apricots, cranberries, tutti frutti and prunes. You could use the dried fruits that you have at home, and I'm going to add all of these into the pan as well. Now let's cook this on medium heat for a few minutes until the juices are absorbed nicely and our dried fruits look slightly plump. This looks good. I'm going to set this aside for it to cool completely, and meanwhile in a bowl let's start working on our dry ingredients. I'm adding maida, some cocoa powder, baking powder and baking soda. Into this I'm also adding some spices. I'm using cinnamon powder, ginger powder and crushed cloves. Let's also grate in some nutmeg and zest of an orange. I'm going to give this a quick mix and set it aside as well. And now in a bigger bowl, I'm adding some brown sugar. If you want, you could also use jaggery along with some vegetable oil. Feel free to use any oil which has a neutral taste and smell. In goes some vanilla extract, and now let's give this a good mix. This is nicely incorporated, and now into this I'm going to add 4 eggs. I'll be adding them 2 at a time and mixing well after each addition. Now if you want to make this cake eggless, you could replace the 4 eggs with 1 cup of yogurt or homemade dahi. I've made this cake with homemade dahi and it turns out really well. So my wet ingredients are all ready, and now into this I'm going to dump the dry mix that we had set aside earlier. And now using my spatula, I'm going to gently fold it in. Now I'm going to stop mixing here because I don't see any large flour pockets in my batter. Let's add in the soaked dry fruits here. Now I am reserving about 1/4 cup of these for the top, which I'll add in later. And now one final element to add some crunch and bite to our cake, some chopped nuts. I am using almonds, cashews and walnuts. Let's combine everything to bring the batter together. My batter is ready. I am now going to transfer it into a loaf pan that I have lined with parchment paper. If you want, you could actually bake this in an 8-inch circular pan or a square pan, which is absolutely up to you. Time to add those leftover soaked dried fruits on top, which gives this cake an absolutely stunning look. And now my cake is ready for the oven. I'll be baking it in a preheated oven at 165 degrees Celsius for about 40 to 45 minutes. If you're planning to make just one cake this season, let it be this chocolate fruit and nut cake because it's that good. I can't wait for you guys to try this recipe out in your kitchens and share pictures on Instagram. Don't forget to tag me at Shivesh70. I have lots of other recipes lined up for you in the coming weeks for Christmas, so make sure you tune in. I'll see you guys very soon. Until then, happy baking and Merry Christmas.